Okay, so at this point we are now on the mission called the Purge, which is right near the end of the Artemis path. Okay, now it is absolutely vital at this point, absolutely vital at this point that you do everything you want to do before advancing this mission at all. Right, if you've got anything else in your log, like your Dreams of the Deep, if you've not done that yet, if that's down here, do it. If you want to get yourself a living ship, go get a void egg from the space anomaly and do all of that mission before you advance this Purge mission at all, because this is essentially your point of no return for the story. Okay, and a lot of the other missions, especially secondary missions, need to take place in the Euclid galaxy, which, not to spoil too much, but you will be leaving at the end of the Purge. So you need to do all of the other missions first, or things can get a little bit buggy. So let's talk about that. You probably won't see it, but if I go onto my guide on my computer. Okay, so to do the Purge, you must have completed 1616 and the Atlas path, right? So make sure you've done the Atlas path. Make sure you've finished all 11 Atlas stations. You've got your Heart of the Sun made up, and you've installed your Star Seed, alright, in your inventory, or don't advance. Okay. Make sure you've done Dreams of the Deep. Make sure you've done Starbirth. Right, from this point onwards, basically every time you warp to a new system, it's going to advance those 16 minutes. Okay, and you'll get a new glyph for portal travel until you've got all 16 glyphs, alright, and then we get to the end game. Okay, you can stop doing this mission partway through if you really need to. Just make sure you take it off the mission marker, put it on something else, put it on a different mission. But I strongly recommend not starting this mission at all until you've done everything else you can possibly do. Okay. Right, I suppose that's all I have to say about that. As I'm going to put this particular warning at the front of various different videos, I'm going to stop it here. So I'm going to put it at the start of the Purge video and at the start of the Starbirth video. Okay, speak to you later. See you soon. Okay, so with that in mind, we haven't done Starbirth yet, so we are going to do that. Okay. So first thing we need to do is we need to go to the anomaly. What I'm going to do is, just to be absolutely certain, is I'm going to put that on the space anomaly mission. And it's put me right back again, hasn't it? No! Spoilers! Spoilers! Right, for now I'm going to say explore the galaxy. So hopefully then it will leave me alone. Okay, now we will be buying our void egg from this guy, the Quicksilver Synthesis Companion, and we need that void egg to start this mission. Okay, if you haven't got enough Quicksilver yet somehow, despite Nada giving you exactly the amount you need throughout the story, come and do some more missions here. You've got the weekend mission at the top, which for some reason is showing for me even though I've already done it. Oh, because I did it on my main save, that's why. And you've got your, and that'll give you 1,200 Quicksilver, and you've got up to 3 days worth of daily ones stacking up there that will give you 250 each, right? So even if you start with no Quicksilver at all, 1 weekend mission and 8 daily missions will give you what you need, okay? Right, which means playing on 3 different days of the week, you can just do all 3 of them, wait 3 days, do 3 more, wait 2 days and do the other 2. Okay, so we go into the Quicksilver Synthesis Companion. create exotic items from Quicksilver, and in here we have a long list of things that we can buy that are mostly just aesthetic stuff, right? But there's different menus. You've got your base building stuff, got gestures, appearance stuff, and then a list of everything you don't own yet. But you need to be in all items because the fireworks and the void egg will only show up in this menu. Alright, so what we're after is one void egg, okay? Only buy one. Don't buy more than one right now, okay? You can buy more later, that's fine, but for right now just buy one or your game will get a little bit glitchy. Alright, so I now have a void egg in my inventory right there. Okay, can I move them somewhere else? Excellent. Right. Now someone's just given me condensed carbon, like I need it. So, let's go outside and we are going to pulse, not warp, pulse, okay? So we're not going to warp to other star systems in the galaxy. The internet is lying to you there, you do not need to do that at all. Right, what we are going to do is pulse drive. Right, and after a short while we will be contacted and we will need to come out of pulse drive. There it is. And we have the mothership theme called the host. We hear you, traveller, we are connected. Your body is of ours. This craft is like none I have ever seen before. It looks alive. Its broadcast is pure music, and yet I understand. The melody making words in my mind. The void egg I acquired from the space anomaly begins to resonate in response. Let's continue to listen. The tones that had previously formed words now shift in form, modulating their music into readable navigational data. Coordinates have been registered to my starship's systems. Okay, and they've gone. Alright. However, I now have some interstellar coordinates. Alright, so now I can warp to find an appropriate planet for this mission. Which you'll see it's over here in this green system. Alright, so you're looking for that little egg symbol right there. Now, had you been warping around at the start there, like the internet unfortunately tells you to do, because people got confused between this and a different mission that only lasted for 3 days and then disappeared, yeah, lots of people are there warping, and then going off on one on Facebook. Why isn't it working? Why isn't it working? Because you're warping instead of using pulse drive. So, just use pulse. Okay. Data injection, sequence received, source unknown. Oh, I got given a glyph. Interesting. I wonder if it's... No. It's very possible I just got that glyph as part of the Purge, but I really hope not, because I didn't have it selected, so I don't want that to happen. Where am I meant to be going? Oh, I'll go and whack a base computer there actually. Oh look, boundary failure. Well, 2 boundary failures very close to each other. This is just in preparation for my exotic planets video. Didn't spell that even close to right, but I don't care, it's good enough. want to get on with the mission. So that's what happens when I type very, very fast. Right, the void egg seeks a specific world in this system. Okay, so let's look at what the void egg wants. Alright, you read it and it says, a world beset by powerful anomalies and strange colours. Okay, so let's have a look around at what types of planets we've got. We've got an icebound planet, poisonous planet, we've got an anomalous planet, Skeletor, so it might be on there, maybe. What else have we got? No, go away. You stand 0 chance against me, leave me alone. A warp cell, really? That's what you're after for? Come on then, come to your deaths. I did warn you all. No, really? Never have guessed. Planetary anomaly. Interesting. Let's check that one out, as I think that's probably the one. Right, you will likely find that this will be one of the planets that has, if we look at our void egg, right, strange colours. Right, there we go. Planet signature matches the void egg's needs. The void... Can you come back up, please? Right, so we're looking for coordinates on this planet of plus 40 and something, and minus 100 and something. Right, those question marks will disappear as we get closer. Alright, let's look at what we're at now. So if we go into our visor, you can see currently we are at plus 20 and minus 16. Alright, so we're not all that close. Alright, we need to go back into our ship. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into first person mode in my ship so that I can see the inside. And on the inside, once I go up into the air, should be coordinates. There we go, on the left. Right, so we will be able to see from those coordinates how close we are getting. Now, I seem to be getting further away on one, so on the first one, so I'm going to turn around and go the other way. We're trying to get closer to 40. Right, it's going up now, we're getting closer to 40. What about the other one? The other one's going up in the minuses as well, so that's good. Right. What I want to do now is I want to slow down how far. Right, we're at the 40 now, so what I want is to find a direction that doesn't advance or decrease my 40 too much. So that's bringing it down. Right, there we go. Right, so it's not going too fast now. It is going down, but not too fast. Alright, so I want to continue in this direction until I get to minus 100. Alright. Now you must always bear in mind whether it's a plus or a minus, because you could be on literally the exact opposite side of the planet to where you need to be. Okay. Correct my... Yeah, okay. Now you can go up into atmosphere a little bit to do this faster, but bearing in mind that you might lose your way a little bit, so I'm just going to keep going like this until I get closer. And what's going to happen is, as we get closer on foot in a minute, the coordinates will update. So where it says plus 40 question mark question mark question mark, that can actually be anywhere between plus 39.5 or plus 4. Right, there you go. It's just updated. 39.8 something. Right, so we are quite close. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get out. I'm going to do the rest of the way on foot. Alright, once one of them updates, you're probably alright to get out on foot. You can always use an exocraft to hop in and out of if the weather's terrible. Alright, so that way's what? That way's decreasing. Oh, but we want it to decrease. We're going to 37.8. Alright, which is about here-ish. Alright, now that's not going to update any more until I get closer to the 100 one. So remember, 100 could be anywhere between. Oh, it's 100. It's updated that one as well. Okay, 100.3. So let's go to 100.3. Oh, now I seem to be decreasing. Still decreasing. That way. That's decreasing as well. Right, so it can be a little bit tricky to make it so that one of them stays up while the other doesn't move. Like one. Alright, 100.3 what? Still need to be closer, don't I? Alright, I'm going to keep my 100.3 just under 500. So 100.3. Oh, I've gone to 103. Oh, silly Craig. So always, like, try to keep your eye on where the decimal is. Better off just going back to wherever my ship was and starting again, won't I? Where is it? Over there. Yeah, but then it wasn't. So it can be tricky. Alright. Let's bring this direction down. Right, let's just bring in both directions down, that's good. Right. Right, we're at the 39.8, sort of. Right, we just need to be at the 100. Right, so that's bringing that side down, hopefully not that one too much. Right, I think we found it. Yes, we have. Okay, so the first few times we do this, this is what we're looking for, is a monolith. Okay, eventually we'll be looking for a boundary failure later on in the mission, but for now it's the monoliths. Now when you get fairly close, like where I was landed in my ship, you can use a map, one of the cartographer's maps from the space station to find this. As long as you're close enough, it will find it, so it just makes that last bit a little easier. Okay, Archive of Korvax Prime, retrieval in progress. Log follows. Language transfer with non-convergent individuals now processed. Understood, possible. But coexistence unavailable under the nature of non-convergent experience understood. Gek Viking 2 removed. Must begin experiment with fewer variables. Control required. Experimental synthesis unit operational. Awaiting biogenesis materials. This ancient structure is a recording of a convergence activity on Corvax Prime. It appears to contain the pathway for recreating a long-forgotten experiment. So it requires a consciousness bridge, which is not something we yet have the ability to craft. So we leave. I do not have the materials this machine desires. As if in response to this failure, it supplies me with a blueprint. Is this what my egg has been seeking? Okay, so I now have the blueprint for a consciousness bridge. Okay, and it requires some pugnium, a Corvax casing, and some hexite. Okay, so I'll find it. I'm going to pin the recipe for it. I forget if it's even in here. It'll probably pin it for me anyway. Right, gather hexite to craft consciousness bridge. The egg has echolocated a source of hexite, right, which is over here at a crashed freighter. Right, I don't want to walk in this horrible weather, so I'm going to summon my vehicle. Actually, let's have some fun. Is it really going to take me that long to get there? Why is it going to take me a whole lot longer in my... I know my monitor's slow, but surely it shouldn't be that much slower than I am with my jetpack. Alright, here's my crashed freighter. Just call my ship to here. Hostile consciousness overwrite detected. Erasing. All records successfully bioencrypt. Magnetic elements rendered to unrecoverable hexite. Extract hexite. The freighter security systems reacted to my presence, or perhaps to that of some other uninvited visitor. Whatever prompted this response, however, I have the materials I require. Okay, so that gives me more than enough hexite to craft the bridge. Alright, so we are still missing a Corvax casing, so I'm going to have a look around. You can find Corvax casings from some traders, or in some of the little crates you find on planets quite often, just lying around, like the green ones or the red ones. Not really finding any. Left annoying. Where's that building gone again? It might have had a maybe it will award me one. That is not the same building. However, it is a galactic trade terminal, which might actually sell me one. Oh, it will, because I've got my mod on. I forgot about the mod. I've also forgotten what it was I'm after. Corvax casing, was it? Yeah. Alright, so you could always have bought them from... oh, you joking, there's one right here. Bet you anything this awards me one now. This is what I was saying to go check. Right, microprocessor, that's alright, it didn't give me one anyway. So anyway, let's create our consciousness bridge. Okay, so let's move our spare hex site out of the way, that's completely unnecessary now. We are going to go back. Oh, it's over there. Because I moved my ship, didn't I? There wasn't really any good reason to move my ship, was there? Abandoned building, good to know. Okay. So we insert the consciousness bridge. The machine accepts the biogenic machine I have assembled for it. I hear a hum, the rumbling echo of its past experiments returning to the present. It outputs, births, a cluster of cells, some proto-tissue. What purpose did these ancient Korvax have in mind? Alright, so we've been given a fragile neural cell, okay, which is a delicate web of living tissue. This is the spark that will ignite a new life form into existence. It requires careful attendance while it matures. Okay, so we now have to allow the neural stem to mature, which if we go in here, it's not going to tell us how long is it. So we will go in, oh, it just came up, there we go. So we've got the full 24 hours to wait, that's annoying. It can be anywhere between 18 and 24 hours that you have to wait. There are ways around it by turning your console or Steam into offline mode and then changing your clock. But we're not going to do that, we're going to do this the proper way. So we're just going to wait. We're not going to obviously have a video going for 24 hours though, so I'm going to bring this part of the video to the end and I'll see you in the next part. So hopefully this diagram will help you with the coordinate hunting. Yeah, so the main important things here then are to first off check your plus and minus. All right, you might think you're in the right place but actually be in the complete opposite side of the planet. So you might be at, I don't know, plus 37 but actually need to be at minus 37. Always bear in mind that 57.001 is a very long way from 57.1. Okay, so just because your first number before the decimal point are right doesn't mean that you're like particularly close, because the entire planet is just 360 degrees. So think of it as degrees. That's what you're essentially at here. I mean, it's 180 in each direction, so minus 180 to 0 to plus 180, and then depending on the poles, so you're plus 90 to get to the North Pole and minus 90 to get to the South Pole. So always start with your longer number first, your bigger number. So that's the second number that appears. Get yourself right there, which I wasn't doing in the video, but I was going for this one. But yeah, get that one right first and then work on your north to south. Okay, so third point, 57 point question mark means somewhere between 56.5 and 57.5, right? So your number might not necessarily start at 57, it might be 56. As we were just doing, start on your ship, but once you get closer, get out and use your visor or your XMEC. And cartographer's maps, like I said, will highlight the monolith and later boundary failure in some of the later stages once you're close enough. Okay, that's all I really have to say about that. Hope this particular picture helps, and I will see you in the next part of the mission. Okay, so we're back, and you may have noticed that moments ago, unfortunately I didn't catch it in time. I was hoping that my video would start recording just before it happened, but no. My fragile neural stem became a mature neural stem, so we are now ready to move on to the next part of the mission. Await contact, okay? So, if we leave the planet that is currently experiencing a storm, and we'll use our pulse drive again. And our mothership is back, so we will listen to them on the Starship communicator. The host, sorry, not mothership, the host. The Metal Masters bind us no more. We are free. We may swim, fly, live, die. The void egg quivers as the lifting music of the alien ship fills my cockpit. It is a motion of recognition. Let's accept the transmission. The song of the ship, the creature, fills my starship, spiraling from circuit to circuit, flooding the computer. As the music fades, I hear a faint echo, a gently hummed response. The void egg. I go into my inventory. My void egg has now become a stirring void egg. Okay, and it wants a dust-covered world of extreme storms. Okay, so that's what we've got to find next. I would like to come out of first-person view for a second because it annoys me. I know most people like doing that, but I don't. Right, it's not asking me to go into the galaxy mode, so I'm guessing there's a planet here that I can use. What was it again? A desert world, wasn't it? With extreme storms. A desert world of extreme storms. Unconvinced. I don't think there is one. Ah, there we go. It is telling me to go to the galaxy map after all. It just took its time about it. That star right there. Oh, we have ourselves a space battle. Let me just... Okay. Yeah, I've got the slight problem that the Purge is still awarding me my glyphs when I jump, even though I'm not doing the Purge. I think there's not really any way around that, which is why I really should have stopped just before I did the last bit of 1616 rather than stopping as soon as I start the Purge. But oh well. That's quite a nice freighter. I might have to switch if the stats are any good. thing is, I think I've got my mod on, haven't I, that gives everything 48 slots, so this is almost certainly going to be 48 slots no matter what I do. Yeah, I basically decided just to turn my mods back on now that I'd leveled everything up in this survival save. There was no real reason to like keep them off. Oh no, actually I haven't got that one on. So this freighter's just a C-class 29 and 12, which is rubbish. Although it is showing me that the 12 tech slots is definitely a thing. Right, anyway, we are here looking for a desert world, aren't we? So let's scan a few. Parts plant, right, that's one straight away. And it's got activated copper, so it must have, because it's activated, it must have storms. So this is the one we're after. That was really easy. First one to scan. Is that the crashed freighter? Okay, so we need to go to plus 30 and plus 53. Where are we now? Miles away in both directions. Okay, so we'll take off. Cat, it's really hard to see the screen with you standing in front of it. Move! You only ever, right, this cat only ever bothers me when I'm filming. Like, never comes anywhere near me if I'm not filming, but as soon as I start filming... Right, anyway, plus 30. Right, I seem to be going upwards in the other one. I don't want to go upwards in my second stack, I want to go downwards. Right, this looks like I'm heading in more or less the right direction. What I am going to do actually is I'm going to come out of atmosphere, because I'm so far away from my target in this direction. I'm going to pulse a bit, go back down, see where we're at now. Right, we're still at 130. Alright, so let's try and get first stat so that it's not changing that much when we move. So there. And we'll go up into the sky again. Try and keep it straight in this direction. And we're going to go a decent distance. And now go down. Right, so this is a bit more like it. Except we want to be increasing both, so let's go this way. Alright, okay, the 70 is decreasing there. Oh yeah, we are trying to decrease, aren't we? Decrease that one, increase the first one. So they're basically XY coordinates. So one of them is essentially north to south, and one of them is essentially east to west. I'll stick a thing in between these videos that explains the coordinates. In fact, I might even make it the icon of the video. It's just a little diagram that helps people to understand it a little better. But you'll notice this one's a little easier a little easier to do. We're not having to fill in the coordinates as we go, although they might change slightly when we get to our destination. Once again, once we get close enough, we can just use our cartographer's map to find it, but I didn't bring any with me because I want to do this properly. And we are still looking for one of those plaques. Oh, I need to go faster. Right, you'll see that it jumped there. Alright, so our... God, I'd love to be able to see. Our numbers are changing ever so slightly as we get closer. Okay, so we're going to try and get as close as we can, because the coordinates are unstable, as it says. Coordinates appear unstable. So we get as close as we can to what it said the coordinates were, and they will update it before. They never change too much. I'm guessing that will be it. So I'm just going to drove right past it there, didn't I? Let's just land and see. That is not it, that is a drop pod. So, not quite at 53 yet, are we? It's now saying 53.51, so let's land there, because that's telling me we're very close to where it says it is. Okay, so we're at plus 29, we need to make that 81, and we need to keep that more or less the same. Alright. Alright, see, it's just edited itself ever so slightly again. So we are getting very close. This is where a map would come in handy. And where a storm is very much getting in our way. So I can't see any of the nearby plaques. Right. 29.64, so let's go this way a bit. So you can see how that's actually quite a large distance. So just because you're at 29 point something doesn't mean that you're close by to the thing just because the thing's at 29 point something. Right, it now thinks 52, 81. In that direction, and 30.5 again in that direction. This is getting annoying now. What are you? You're in a manufacturing facility, so you're not it. .83 again. 30.1. Let's step this way, you said 29.83. It's very annoying that it keeps switching. But we will find it eventually, I assure you. There it is. This is it, yes? Yes. And notice how the storm cleared right as we got to it. I'm guessing that that's a scripted storm. Archive of Corvax Prime. Retrieval in progress. Log follows. Partial success achieved. The bridge that allows the implantation of consciousness shards within discrete shells. Unit remains connected to the greater mind. Sensory inputs fully shed. Attempts to localize sensory inputs cause traumatic deseparation. Unfruitful. Suspect biological core required. Root sensory experience in bodily experience to improve stability. System must have local control. Experimental synthesis unit operational. Awaiting biogenesis materials. The plaque replays more data from before the destruction of Corvax Prime. These researchers were building something, a biological shell, an individual manifestation of their own convergent minds. So it now wants a pulsating core. So we have to leave. These machines were built to synthesize life from advanced technology. I am once again supplied with the plans required, pushed on down this path by those who tried before. One of the plans is for a novel multi-tool upgrade, the solar ray. Okay, so, and the pulsating core, which requires gold, mordite and liquid sun. Okay, now liquid sun is a new thing to us, and that is what we need the multi-tool upgrade for. So you may remember that there are 2 spaces left in our multi-tool. Again, most of you will have 24 slots. I don't know why this 48 slot thing happened for me, but it did, and I'm happy about it. Once you've done this little bit of the mission, you can delete that again and have your slot back. It's fine. You only need it this once. Okay, now what we're going to do is we are going to find any old metal deposit, doesn't matter which one, and we're going to use it. That seems to be underground. Where is it? Yes, it is underground. This chap behind all of that. Okay, so you'll notice that as we're mining, we're getting liquid sun. It's not giving it us on the normal rocks, it's only giving it us on the when we're mining a metal, so any of the resource deposits basically. Oh, a crashed ship. What are you like then? Nearby life form? What nearby life form? Ah, you. Hello. Didn't see you sitting there, Mr. Viking. Yeah. There we go. You basically just run out of fuel then. Oi, you, fixed your ship. Bye then. So anyway... really not seeing a deposit there. I think you're lying to me. It's totally lying to me. There is no deposit there. I really need to recharge my shields. There we go. Yes, a bit more like it. Oh yeah, remember to go into the smallest version of the what's essentially a terrain manipulator again. And you get a lot more out of it that way. As we need 250, which is quite a lot. We don't want to use up the deposits too quickly. God, it sure does take a lot of charging, doesn't it? Okay, we appear to have enough. So I'm going to move that down there. We are going to craft... Ah, we still need some gold. Where's my ship? I know I've got gold on my ship. So we craft our pulsating core. I don't think we strayed too far from our building, did we? So, there it is. Of course there's a storm again. Jeez. Give a bit of rest for the storms. Experimental synthesis unit operational. Awaiting biogenesis materials. So we're going to give it one pulsating core. As the machine begins its work, I feel the egg twitch within my exosuit. It is responsible for activating these machines. Its imprint is upon the life I am creating. So we have ourselves a fragile heart, which is likely going to take 24 hours as well, isn't it? Let's have a look. Two and a half hours. We got slightly lucky at that time. Okay, so I'm just going to get into my ship, save, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, so welcome back to Starbirth. Just waiting on our heart to mature. Don't think it'll be much longer. Oh, we got 6 minutes. Alright, what can we do for 6 minutes? Let's just have a play around, shall we? We got it then. Is this a manufacturing facility? Yep. Okay. As I turn on the terminal, a forward-facing security scanner clicks and whirs into focus. My bright red image is on screen. Not a clue. Oh, because I'm a high rank, I can just do this one. Let's just check I've got all the recipes. Definitely got all of them. Definitely got all of them. That has reminded me that I don't actually have a Atlas Pass crafted. So let's make one, shall we? Want the version free because it does everything that the other versions do. And that will allow me to go into all the doorways that you find lying around and open up the red cargo containers and all sorts of other stuff. Okay. Let's try a different exocraft while we're waiting then. Yeah, I reset my words, in case you're wondering why I've suddenly only learnt 5 words. Thought it'd be amusing. This thing floats on the water, in case you didn't know, where all the other exocrafts sink. Oh, get on with it, come on. I will probably just edit these 6 minutes out. This is actually quite a lot of fun. 30 seconds left, okay. Okay, it's done. So let's go into space. We now have a mature rather than fragile heart node. So we now have 2 of our required parts. Not having much luck there, so let's pulse in a different direction. The egg did update, didn't it? Stirring. I think it was stirring before, wasn't it? Yeah, I think I might have left too soon before it actually updated. Oh no, because it's talking to the thing that makes it update, isn't it? Okay, darling. So I wonder where it is then. Oh, there you go. Took your time, mate. 8 minutes into this video now. We are on our path, we see it, we understand where it leads, it is necessary. Perhaps we thank you, perhaps. The words of the ship ring in my ears, they have real expression, an unsympathizable quality, and yet I see no pilot. My dance with this strange life form, for I am convinced this ship is alive, continues. It has bound itself to me, and this egg is the bridge. Okay. So my egg is now updated to an awakened void egg, and it now wants us to go to a lush and verdant plant life covered water world. Okay, so we're going to go to galaxy map and we are going to find somewhere that has water. Which it would seem it has not marked for me, which is annoying. Perhaps I came into this menu too quickly. Oh no, there's one. Alright, you'll notice it says water. Alright, that's true of any system that has a planet on it that is more than 50% water. Doesn't mean they'll all be super deep, but hopefully you'll get one of the deep ones. Oh, contoured planet, let's go whack a thing down there for my video. Oh, go away Apollo, I'm not interested, I'm not doing that particular mission right now. Cable pods. Okay, that's set up ready for my exotic planets video. Apollo, you really need to go away. How many planets are in this system? Just the 2. I bet it's hidden behind it, isn't it? Yep. That's the one. Okay, so we want to be at minus 22 and plus 39. Right, we are absolutely nowhere near plus 39. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn us around and go all the way up to minus 180, so it resets to 0. So for that one we're going... Nope, yeah, okay. Well, that didn't work. We were way too far. Okay, we're still at... go up that much, so let's get this so it's going down. Alright, plus 72, that's a little better. Remember, the higher up in atmosphere that you are, the quicker these coordinates are going to change. So if you're close to the ground, you're not covering as much ground. The problem is that one's going up and I want it to go down. And that one's going down when I want it to go up. So that one maybe. Alright, that'd be funny, but it should be around here. let's just land. Do the rest on foot, I guess. If it will let me. Let me land! Why won't you land? There we go. Okay. So I want to be at 10:22. Ooh, no. Alright, that's us at 10:22. So now exactly the wrong way. I'm guessing it's you. There we go. Oh my lord. Archive of Corvax Prime, retrieval in progress. Log follows. Carapace program concluded. Machinery optimized. Biological core unnecessary with correct local sensory throttle configuration. Yet non-convergence insufficiently processed. Biogenesis may offer future refuge. Increased autonomy must be studied. Experimental synthesis unit operational. Awaiting biogenesis materials. These words are translated, designed to be read by non-convergent entities. Were the authors working beyond their brief? Had they become divergent, lured by the flesh they had created? How many others have walked the same path of creation? Was it once impossible membrane, which once again we don't know, so we walk away. The ancient Corvax machine hums faintly to itself as it etches another blueprint, another fragment of this puzzle to organic life. Okay, so it wants some living water, chromatic metal, and hypnotic eye. Now we don't know what living water is, so we need to find some. And look, I was really not that far away from where I landed my ship. Like, literally right there. It's the annoying thing about this coordinate hunting, is that you can be right next to it and not even realise. Oh, no, Apollo, I don't want to talk to you. I do not want to talk to you. Okay, I'll just have to reset that part of the mission before I make my video on the Purge. No, that launch system recharger is not doing its job at all. I wonder why. Maybe if I move it around. Maybe it'll do a slightly better job that way because it'll get boosted by that, who knows. Okay, so we need to go into space. To get our living water. And yes, I know that doesn't make a whole lot of sense right now. You might think, surely we were on a water planet. If we want living water, surely we've got to go underwater. No, and you'll see why in a minute. It's living water that we want. From this beautiful jellyfish, the child of Helios. Acceptance, hope, willing. A wave of calm washes over me as my communicator tunes itself to this beautiful giant. Its message is no conventional broadcast, but an analog transmission of pure emotion. I let the feeling take hold as I contemplate the being before me. Request sacrifice. I make a request of the peaceful traveller before me. Despite having no shared language, it appears to understand me, even to have been expecting this. It convulses, and I receive what I need. The being continues its journey. So it gave me its living water. It seems to be stuck in place. That doesn't usually happen. Usually it's moving slightly, but whatever.
Warning. Threat detected. Hostile ships approaching.
So we're going to install our impossible membrane. And we're going to go right back to the machine that we found a minute ago, the plaque that we found. Experimental synthesis unit operational. Insert materials 1 impossible membrane. I have prepared what was asked, and the machine has brought another piece of life into the universe. Do these clusters think? Do they feel? What is the boundary between life and an organic machine? So here is our fragile shell. Okay, how long have we got for this one? Oh my lord, 25 hours. I've not seen that happen before. I was under the impression it was always under 24 hours. It's meant to be. Alright, well, whatever. Let's go save. And I will see you in the next part of the Starbirth quest. Okay, so as you may have just about seen in time there, our shell is now a hardened shell. Okay, so we're doing alright. We've got our mature neural stem, our mature heart node, and our hardened shell. Okay. So let's go back into space again. Where are you? below the host. You will perform the binding. We see you assemble the components, like the metal masters before you, and yet you share a mind with the other iterations, yet you do not converge. Perhaps you will understand. Each time this being floods my ship with their beautiful song, I attempt to commit the experience to memory, to recall it later. And yet, when it fades from my present, it fades entirely. All I have is navigation data. So it is now saying, visions of a planet with strange anomalies. 1 minute a world of grass, the next world of bizarre fungal growths. Right, so it's looking for an anomalous planet, which is any of the exotic worlds. Let's go into the galaxy map and see where the closest place of an exotic world is. Although I could have sworn it was meant to be a lush world at this point, but apparently not. Boiling planet. Yes, I know. Contaminated planet. Capped. So this is the one we want. Okay. Just want to build a base first, just base computer. Because I don't remember if I've prepped one on one of these types of planets before or not. Plenty of stuff here. Things I'm after though, so let's just put cap. Okay, right, so we need to be at -3 and -35. Currently we are nowhere near those, so is it with the starship and its stupid launch thruster? I think I have this problem on my normal game now. I think survival must make it use more of the launch thruster or something. Right, so we're trying to get a -3 and -35. So really, forget how I'm so far away. It just keeps changing. Minus 35. Right, now we're on plus again. The idea being that this should cross over from... Oh, of course it does. It crosses over from plus 180 to minus 180. I was being thick. I am literally on the exact wrong side of the planet for this stuff. Let's give here a go. This one's going to be a little bit closer. A little better. Right, so we want that to be coming down, which it is. That one to be coming down as well, which it is. Lovely. Oh my god, it's going to take forever. I'm fairly confident that that or that is my destination. One of these. It's one of the boundary failures anyway. Oh, there's another one, there's a lot of them. But I reckon it's this one. Which has just disappeared on me. There it is. Once again, cat, only when I start filming. Indeed, it is this one. So go around the side, interact with it. Archive of Corvettes Prime retrieval in progress. Log follows. Biological shells unstable, erratic. Convergent mind data cannot be overloaded through one process center. Multiple sites required. Distributed biology to match distributed mind structure. Alignment appears necessary. Yet, centralized identity must anchor each shell. Hold in my hands the fragments of life, heart-body network. But what is life? Would it converge with other minds? Here is the crux of this ancient experiment. So I need seeds of glass, which I don't have, so let's leave. That'll give me the blueprint again. I can feel the life forms I carry, the egg, the heart, the skin, the nerves, pulsate as they sense the aura of the machine. They are aware that something is happening, even if they cannot comprehend what it is. What must that feel like? I am fed another blueprint, another plan to follow. Once again I must adapt my multi-tool to some new purpose. The animus beam. So we'll need to get some fragmented qualia using this animus beam, and the way to do that is to shoot animals with it. It's also pretty neat against the sentinels, but that's not going to give us what we need, so let's go hunt some animals, shall we? As it's a anomalous planet, there's only ever one type of animal. Which I've thus far not seen. There you are. Okay, so not because it's an anomalous planet, but because I'm using this particular weapon, I got some fragmented qualia. But I need 100 of them, so let me just lock the cat out of the room because she's being silly. Out, out. The most annoying animal in the world, honestly. These ones are hard to see. Shroom, which we can pick up, and we can put back down again. But first, come on, animals, where are you? It's a pretty sparse planet, really. Not a lot of anything here. Where the water go? Am I living water even? They really take all of it off me, that's not nice. Oh dear God, I'm very tempted to go to a different planet and just search for some normal animals. Go away, Sentinel.
Sentinel drones activated.
The thing is though, if I go to another planet, I've got to come back to this one again.
Sentinel combat unit deployed.
Really? Because I was stood around doing nothing? There's another one. Okay, so you just acted like there was one here. I'm getting there. Come on, I need one more. Where are you?
Units received.
Okay. So we've got 104 fragmented qualia, so we can now make the seeds of glass. The machine accepts these bizarre seeds. It performs its miracle, working a new life form into being, a new cluster for me to care for. So we now have the growing Singularity. Actually is a really rather good weapon. so we've got 25 hours to wait. See you in the next video. Okay, so we have now got the Singularity core that has matured into that. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. Okay, our egg is still cracking, so we need to go. This gets a bit confusing now because it actually updates the egg in a second from cracking to cracking. Like, makes perfect sense. It's already cracking, but there's a second version of the cracking egg that we're going to get in just a second when we talk to the host again. And the good news is we're nearing the end of the Starbirth mission. The bad news is this is the hard bit now, and there's a bit of a block in the way, which I'll get to in a second, if you haven't already done particular things. Hello, the host. It is nearly complete, but here we will diverge. If you share yourself with us, it is sacrifice. There is no infinite wine to spill, it must be yielded. The song of the strange space creature has changed, subtle but unmistakable. It has become a duet, a perfect harmony with the void egg. The voice of the alien is fading, it grows weaker, and in perfect inverted echo, the void egg grows in volume. Its music now insistent, pounding, it has its own message. Okay, so that very complicated set of words there is in fact a portal address. These are describing some of the glyphs. And that is where we now run into a problem, in that we only have 4 of the glyphs. But that's why we've left it to now to be doing this particular mission, because if we go back to the Purge, which has been doing anyway, at the sequence 4 out of 16, you see, that's 4 of the glyphs it's given us already because we were warping. Alright, so we already had 1. We've actually got 5. Okay. Now we want the first 12. Okay, so we need another 7 glyphs before we're going to be able to use the portal that we need to use here. Right, now there are 2 different ways of getting glyphs. There's the warping during this Purge mission. There's also finding other travellers on space stations and at trading posts. Now they're quite rare, but if you find them, they'll look like holograms, and you can talk to them. And when you talk to them a second time, you can ask them for a location, and that's actually the location of their grave. You interact with their grave, and it gives you the next glyph. What is your obsession with warp cells, pirates? Come on. They are easy to come by. Oh, hello. We've got a pulse event at the same time as being attacked by pirates. What are the chances of that? That's happy. Alright, we appear to have a Dyson lens. Yeah. Nanites received. I do love these random space encounters. I mean, that was one of the more boring ones, but still. Right, it looks like the trade station is closer than the trading post, sorry, is closer than the space station, so we'll do that one first. People don't stop messaging me on Facebook, I'm going to scream. Let's just turn my phone off and I won't hear it vibrating about that. There we go. Okay, Now you may notice that this particular trade station looks a little different. That's because of one of JJ Hooker's mods, which are they're absolutely fantastic. So this one redesigns the trade stations, and there's 3 different designs, one from Korvax, one from Gek, and one from Harkeen. And there's, you'll see in a minute, another one that redesigns just ever so slightly the space stations. Doesn't change too much. And there's also one that redesigns the cockpits of your freighter, which is nice. Right, there is no traveller or whatever there, so I'm hoping we end up doing a mixture here where we'll get some from warping and some from finding travellers and their graves. Sometimes you'll just come across the graves in the wild. That's fine, just interact with them straight away. You can skip the traveller bit altogether if you do that. And yeah, you'll get given a glyph. I'm actually just going to put this back on to starboard. There's one. Okay, they don't all look exactly the same, but they do all have this weird holographic glow. The skin is translucent, as if they were not truly there. Okay, whatever. Okay, so I've talked with them, but now I'm going to talk to them again. Okay, you ask them where they came from. It's going to cost you 100 nanites, but it's worth it, trust me. Okay, so I can now get back. Let's just check if there's another one up here before I go anywhere, actually. You can only do one of these at a time, but it's worth knowing. Oh, there's not even anyone on this side. Yeah, it's worth knowing that there's more if there's more. Okay, so you may remember earlier in the video that Apollo contacted us after the 3rd or 4th warp, I forget. Yeah, some of the other characters are likely to contact us throughout this, so I will I will read through what they say as and when that happens. Vortex cubes. Failure of Rabi. So basically it tells you of the last few bits of the last few moments of their life, exactly what they were doing and what it hints at what killed them, basically. It's different for each one. Alright, I've just gained the next glyph. Number 6. Right, and we'll do the rest by warping, as it's not only quicker and easier, but it will result in us getting our conversations. Doesn't particularly matter where we warp to, just that we warp. It expects us to warp closer and closer towards the galaxy core, but you don't have to. You can go wherever you want. Go. So this data injection sequence received, source unknown. That is us getting more glyphs given to us. Okay, so let's go again. So this video has become a little bit of a mix between the final stages of Starbirth and the final stages of the Artemis path, because it has to be. If we don't already have the glyphs. Ah, here we go, Artemis contacting us from the simulation, or rather their simulation, because we now know that, yeah. I received your message, I don't know what to say. How do you know that the Atlas is telling the truth? I know you've been busy, I now know why. But I'd still like to see another traveller before I die. I'd like to meet, if we can, if that doesn't sound ridiculous considering the circumstances. Tell Artemis the truth again. The same communication comes back to me, permeated with static. The message, the intonation, everything about it is identical. I know you've been, but I'd like to see another traveller. If that doesn't, let's try to recalibrate. Same thing again. It is then that I realise it. The noises, the static I've been hearing throughout my adventures. It's not interference, the corruption of long-distance communication. How could it be? We speak through the protocol of a dream. The noises, the sound of it's the sound of waking. It's the sound of everything falling apart. It's the final gasp. The death of the Atlas will begin in 16 minutes. It began long ago. Well, not begin in 16 minutes, sorry. It began long ago. I say goodbye, not knowing if Artemis can hear me. I don't even know what that means, to hear me. We're all just data. Did they ever hear me? These glitches will happen more and more in the final days. Individuals caught in cycles, repeating themselves. Planets wiped from existence or changed overnight, all discoveries lost. I must journey on. Okay, we're getting there now. a message from Null. You are not alone. You can't go to the centre. You can't do this to us. You can't leave us. No, you can't do this to us. You can't. The centre of each galaxy, it's the Atlas. It's all else is just interfaces. All else a shadow of its might. You don't deserve it. You'll wipe us all to say. The Atlas, the innermost part of itself, it has shown its dreams, its fears. I did what I had to do. I told you that. I couldn't die without seeing everything there was to see. Did what I had to do. But the Atlas, it won't let me back in. It won't speak to me. What did you do? I've committed such atrocities, Traveller. I had to. It was me or them. It's always been me or them. Please, if you go through the centre, if you do what I did, it will reset everything. It will replace me, wipe me. All those souls, they'll have died for nothing. It was the only way to live on. You have to understand me. Life for more life. They sustained me. It can't all have been for nothing. I was going to see it all. I say goodbye. As Null screams at me to reconsider, I end the communication. There is nothing left but the path towards the centre. I only need one more. I'm just going to check to see if there's a traveller on this space station so I don't have to walk anymore. I do like these redesigns. JJ Hooker's brilliant at these mods. All Viking. Anyone on this side? There's not often anyone over here. Nope. About back here? Any travellers? No. Okay then. I guess I should walk again. Now you can get those traveller graves at any point in the game, by the way. It's just a little bit tedious hunting them down on purpose. So, but if you ever happen to come across a traveller, then by all means talk to them, get their grave coordinates and go get it. Go get your glyphs. It's especially helpful for hunting down some like really good ships and multi-tools if you've looked them up online. Sequence 10 out of 16. Okay, but I do have 12 of my glyphs. So, I'm going to go back to Starbirth. And what I now need to do is find us a portal, which I do need a space station in, because I need to get a map. Doesn't appear to be a space station in this world, so in this system. So let's go somewhere else that definitely does. I'd like a pretty decent system, please. I want a 3-star system, just because I want one. You will do. So you notice it says unconventional travel may be required. So don't be fooled into thinking that you have to travel all the way there in the galaxy map, because it will take you many months. We are instead going to find a portal. And one way to do that is to find a monolith and ask it some questions. So we are just looking around to see if there are any more travellers. There don't appear to be. We are going to talk to the cartographer here. And we are going to exchange maps for our nav data. Right, now we've got secure site of interest, distress signal, inhabited outpost, and ancient artifact site. We want ancient artifact site. I'm actually going to buy a few of them just in case. Okay, so they each take you to different building types, and again there'll be another video about that. Oh, there was a traveller. Let's talk to you then. Oh look, there's a random living ship right there. That's only because it's got a mod on, by the way. They don't usually spawn like that. Is your planet, you say? We've actually got the 12 glyphs we need, but there's nothing wrong with getting another one, as we happen to run into a traveller. Failure of Suissa? Traced signal to Korvax. I wanted to granted with convergence in exchange for the price extraction from my mind, their wrist recovered. I gained their lied to us, convergent abets. Sentinels provided with tribute carapace to Korvax help them. Conceal. They are coming. Fire. Please step back. Okay, so to locate a portal, we first need to locate a monolith and talk to it a bunch of times. So let's plot a route using our map, see what it comes up with. Signal detected. What kind of signal? An ancient ruin. That's not the one we wanted. So let's do it again. We don't want an ancient ruin, we don't want a plaque, what we want is a monolith. Excellent. It's quite close by as well. Which is good, it'll give my ship a bit of a chance to recharge its launch thrusters. So, all the monoliths will look a bit like this. Right, if it hasn't got the 3 knowledge stones around the edges, this one here. then it is not a monolith, it is a plaque. If it doesn't have the ground on it, like all of this, then it is not a monolith, it is a plaque. Yeah. Okay, so you get 3 words out of that, but what you really want is up the top here. There's various different designs of this top bit, but the bottom will always be the same with the 3 knowledge stones and all of that. Okay, a beak emerges from the ancient stone. It's shouting, but it can't be heard. In the stone above, someone long ago has scrawled advice for those who would approach it. I didn't read the advice, which was very stupid of me. Let's leave a second. First spawn, common catalyst. Metal brings... Okay. So we'll go with common catalyst then. Oh, they're all common catalyst. No, that's not common. Right, so common catalyst, I guess. Okay. Right, I'm now going to interact with it again. And I would need to have a get relic on me, which I do not currently have. If I'd answered the question perfectly, then it can sometimes give you one. Right, so I need to look around either for a trader or some of the abandoned containers that you often find lying around. And I bet you anything, I will struggle to find some, just because. Oh, it dropped a pod. Right, so, containers, oh, lots of containers. I swear if none of these give me what I need now, I'm going to be very annoyed. Get relic, there we go, straight away. To get relic. Free get relic. Fine. Now I've got all the... There's no point in me repairing this because I've got full slots already, so nothing would happen. Oh, I've just lost my portal, haven't I? This is very stupid of me. Always mark your portal when you've found your portal. Throw down a signal booster so you can see where it is. It's a good job I've got infinite jetpack, eh? Hoping to just be able to spot it, even though there's a storm. Should be in this general area. Seriously, where is the thing? If the storm could go away, that would be super helpful. Where is my monolith? I have no idea if this was the same one, we'll find out in a second. It is not the same one. Okay, why not? Are you serious? You damaged my stuff.
Technology recharge. Technology recharge.
Don't think it's telling me the truth. Don't see it. Ah, yeah, it's damaged some of my ship. How mean. Any of the rest of this damaged? What about my multi-tool? Not that I can see.
Weather warning. Incoming storm.
Alright, whatever, we'll interact with it again. Which it's not letting me do for some reason. Why? Why are you not letting me interact again? Has it glitched out on me? Perhaps that was the wrong answer. There was obviously a better answer. Oh, hello, water. This is starting to get annoying. Lord. It's not usually this difficult, I just keep messing up the monolith. Or rather, I messed up the second monolith, the first one I just lost. I've usually got the item I need on me. I usually have to go hunting for it.
Temperature detected.
The item you need will depend on the dominant species in the system that you're in, by the way. I need a Gek relic because I'm in a Gek system. I might need Viking Dagger or Korvax Convergence Cube.
Storm clearing.
Gek first spawn something the something, destroy the something. The monolith melts in front of my eyes. The face of a trader emerges. Its beak cut off for reasons unknown. It screams and writhes in the bubbling vertical lava, desperately reaching out to me. Just going to save. I don't want to get this wrong again, so I'm just going to... I pull the overjoyed trader from the burning lava. The vision ends abruptly. The trader dematerializes, leaving only what it carried. Which I don't want. More exosuit damage, are you serious? It didn't damage me at all, did it? You're lying to me. You know, it did damage my ship instead, though. How rude. Okay, locate a portal. This is what we were after. I think this particular layout is worse. I don't know why I can't get this any better. It must have something to do with being on survival instead of normal. Okay. Once again, we're going to have to charge it all. Of course, we potentially, earlier on in the story, not much earlier either, we came across one of these we had to charge. We could have just marked that with a base computer and then used it again now. Oh well. Okay, so you'll notice I still don't have the last two glyphs, but that's perfectly fine. Alright, so if we probably need a bit of paper, but if we go into our inventory and we have a look, alright, the hunter, the reflection, the hunter, the spiral of reality, the star over water, the ascending orb, the obscured companion, the hunter again, the lowly insect, the anomaly, the sailor, the Ocean King. Alright, so those correspond to these different glyphs. So I'm just going to pull it up in the background. So we've got the hunter is the bird. Alright, so bird, face bird. Okay. Then the spiral of reality, the orb over water. Alright. Spiral of reality, orb over water. That was that one, I can't remember what else it said. Then we had the reflection, I think. Then the hunter again, then the insect. So we've got that, again. Lowly insect. Because that would be the highly insect or dragonfly or whatever. And it's that, the ship, and the whale. Okay, I'm going to go on for it. So yeah, you basically wanted a bit of paper and pen in front of you, and just study the glyphs in your in your catalogue. That was weird. That was super weird. So if I go into photo mode, you see the exact address that you need down in the bottom left. Okay, so I invite you to pause this video and write that down if you really can't be bothered to figure it out for yourself. Okay, I'm now moving on. Okay, so we've got another set of coordinates to hunt down. Only this time, fortunately, it has marked it for us. Gravity here feels rather sluggish. I feel like I'm having to work a lot harder to move than on most planets. I'm moving a lot more slowly. Okay, what we're going to this time is an abandoned building, if I recall correctly. And it looks like I do. Excellent. Alright, again, you can get into fights for the stuff with the whispering eggs, but let's not right now.
Weather warning. Incoming storm.
Is that you? Seems different. The terminal echoes an ancient signal, the final disrupted fragments of a fallen traveller. The signal is a recording, a loop captured by a strange device lodged in the terminal input. Let's collect investment. Okay, so we now have a soul chamber, but it has nothing in it at the moment. It's at 0%. So we must now fill the soul chamber. Okay, so again, it's giving us coordinates, but this time not marking them. Okay, so this is where it gets a little annoying, because on this one those coordinates move a lot. But here's a tip for you. You do not have to do this part of the mission on this planet. You do not need to go to these specific graves that it's referring to here, that these coordinates are sending you to. You can in fact just do exactly what we were doing earlier with the travellers on space stations and at trade stations, and just ask them where their graves are. Because as long as you've got this mission active, any grave will do. Okay? Now, my coordinates are nowhere near where they need to be, So let's summon my vehicle and go elsewhere. These coordinates will get a little more stable as we get closer. So don't worry, you're not going to go there and then find that it changes drastically. Turn around actually, go that way. Close to the first coordinate, but nowhere near on the other one. So one is barely changing. See if we can stabilise the first set. So you want to get it so that the first set of numbers isn't changing too much, if at all. Alright, so right, about there then. So we want to be facing towards that planet, that's quite handy. So let's pulse towards that planet a little bit. And then go straight back down. Okay, it's actually fairly decent for that. So let's get back out. And the same thing again, we will pulse in that general direction. Again. One more time. Okay, maybe not. We somehow ended up facing towards -19. I'm starting to think I might be better off just doing it the slow way in the atmosphere. Still only at 133. No, I'm not interested in trading with you, thank you. Please go away. Alright, that's a bit more like it, we're getting closer now. Okay, so we want to get the first one increasing, and the second one increasing but not much, which is about this really, isn't it? Just looking around to see if I can see the grave signal anywhere. Yes, I can. Oh, just dropped a marker by mistake. Alright, so this is our first one. Of 3, by the way. Stavelu's Regeneration. Okay. Collect soul. Okay, so the next one is at plus 11 minus 13. Okay, so nowhere near where we are. I swear, if in a minute it brings me back to this side of the planet, I'm going to be very annoyed. First I want to get this one stabilised because we know we're almost at plus 11. So basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make that first number not move too much as I'm moving. Right, that seems about right. Okay. So now we want to go to minus 13, right, which is almost the other side of the planet. We want to be heading in that general direction and not change too much, because we want that first number to stay right. Ideally we wanted the second number to be the one we were working off, not the first, but whatever. Alright, so we've gone slightly off track. That's okay, we've somehow ended up at minus 12. So again, let's stabilise this first one. That's getting more and more minus. We don't want that. I'm going to get rid of some of that minus. Alright, you know what, let's just stay in atmosphere from here then. Right, so you see I've stabilised the first number, so it's only increasing ever so slightly, while our second number is decreasing quite rapidly. Alright, if I went any more left or right, then our first number would be changing a lot more rapidly as well, which we don't want. Come out of atmosphere then. Oh dear. Right, we've got to be pretty close now, surely. This is exactly the right place, more or less. Okay, right, we want, what, 1310, also maintaining 1123, this direction, there it is, that was easy. I'm not even sure this is the right one. Collect soul, and we're now at 66% on our soul chamber. Okay, just to let you know, if you've got more than one soul chamber for whatever reason, maybe you switched missions or you accidentally deleted something, or whatever other reason that it's given you an extra soul chamber, or indeed any extra parts or extra eggs, you need to make sure that you've only got one. Delete the others, otherwise you'll never complete this soul chamber. It will just keep going back and forth between 33% and 66%. Okay, so make sure you've only got the one. Okay, so the next one that it wants is a plus 84 and plus 63. Of course it is. Of course it is. Because if it was close by, it would just be too easy, wouldn't it? I cannot believe how long this video has already lasted, just this last part of the mission. It's already an hour. Granted, a lot of that was walking around and stuff, but still. Right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to just take a potluck. I'm going to go la 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 la. I might want to get a little bit further out of atmosphere first. I'm taking a wild stab in the dark about where we land. Let's go here. Okay, the minus in both cases, that's not good. Increasing there, increasing there, right, so that was a rubbish guess. minus and minus again. How the hell have I got minus on both of them? Good lord. Plus 107. It is decreasing, so let's go. It's decreasing that number, so I want to go in this general direction then. Okay, we're at plus 5 and plus 116. That's increasing the first one and decreasing the second, that's what I want. So we're off to 86 and 63. This could take a while. Sort of work. Right, we need to stabilise at 63 now, so I want to get that second number to a point where it's not really moving. It's going down, I don't want it to go down, I want it not moving. It's going up very dramatically. I do find this last part just a little bit tedious. Whoa, what happened to my other degrees? My other degrees has gone out of control, man. Going in exactly the wrong direction. Somehow.
Incoming storm.
Lord. You know what I'll do? So we're at 64 rather than 63, but that's fine. And 85 rather than 86, so right, that's going up. We don't want it going up.
Units received.
Come on, I should be able to see you shortly. There it is. Collect soul. Whew. Okay, so we now need to leave this portal planet and go back to where we were before we came through the portal, which now seems like many years ago. So our portal will still be marked somewhere. There, I'm guessing, yeah. Okay, now we are going to, before we step back through, we're going to place a save beacon, and we are going to do a manual save of our game. Okay, the reason being that we're about to go and be given our first living ship. Now, if we really don't like the design, then we can then reload that and step back through again, and we'll get a different one, especially if we change star system the second we're through. So the way that this works is that it replaces some of the crash sites with a void egg, with a living ship basically, and it uses the seed for that crash site to figure out what living ship you'll get basically. So if you don't want the one on that crash site, then all you do is go straight into here's the host. Traveller, forgive our invasion of your personal interface. We are dying, our body is old, fading, our mind unravels. We must be renewed, we must be restored, it is the way it has always been. Refresh us, reset us, rebirth is what you have made. Will we be the same? Unknown, but it must be. Alright, so we now hatch our cracking egg, and it's giving us the coordinates to where the new life form is. Okay, now let's put it in that inventory, which I don't like. Now if we don't want the one that was there, we'll just reload, and instead of answering, we'll just cancel out of it. And warp to a different system and answer again. Ooh! Ourselves a stellar intelligence. Sorry, a gaseous sentience even. I got them mixed up. Nanites for talking to it. Shooting it does nothing but hurt you. So don't. Looks alright to me. I wonder what the slots are like. That's going to be a deciding factor. Now bear in mind that when you get out, that's an auto-save right there, but you can always still load your manual save. It's just a bit of a pain. So we've got the one on the other side of the portal. That was my manual save at the save point, and the auto-save is getting out of my ship just now. So, mine is a very red one, which is good. That's actually what I wanted. But there's all sorts of different colours. So basically, your living ships may or may not have various forms of antennae. There's like a bunch of different heads, a bunch of different jaws, a bunch of different fins, a bunch of different tails, and all of it's put together with 7 different layers of colour. Alright, so two or three of the layers are rather obvious. You can see them sort of moving around right here. So we've got like a blue, a white and a red by the looks of it. The rest sort of underlined stuff, so I think I can see some orange in there. Yeah, but so you can end up with like countless amounts of red ones that actually look quite different to each other, even if they've got exactly the same body parts somehow, which is, you know, quite unlikely. It almost looks like its tongue in the middle, doesn't it? Anyway, let's have a look. The starship, the creature, the shell, lies next to me. Lights pulse across its surface, but it is still quiet. So I have to give it a bunch of the stuff that I've been building throughout all of this to give it life, basically. So first, the mature heart. Heart begins to beat, weak but undeniable. Now the mature neural stem.
Incoming storm.
The ship quivers in response, suddenly aware of my touch. Now the hardened shell. I feel the machinery solidify beneath my hands, its flesh taking form as living being. And the Singularity core. The ship is complete, but my task is not yet complete. It needs something more. It needs soul. It is done. It is alive. You're alive. It's alive, it's alive. Okay, so this is my living ship. Let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not overly happy with those slots, but let's look at the organ chamber. Oh, I'm definitely happy with that. So I can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the tech in perfect boxes straight away. Oh, that's brilliant. Okay, so let's compare with a normal ship. Yeah, whatever. Right, I'm not going to swap it because then I would lose my current ship, but I am going to claim it. It will become my current ship. I'm well happy with that. And then we'll put you down there, I guess. So I'll put my upgrades for it when I get them in that little box there. Okay, I might have another 3 there for one of the ones I've got in the organ chamber, another 3 there maybe, and another 3 there. Maybe even another 3 there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But in here, this is going to be super easy. I'm really happy with that. Bearing in mind that these slots can be configured in basically any way across all of these spaces, that's really, really handy. This side could have been better, but whatever. Okay, so you get your upgrades not by buying them at a space station or whatever like you would with normal ships, but by pulsing through space. You'll come across void eggs in space, so like all the random encounters we've been experiencing so far, it's just like them, except you've got a great big void egg that you have to shoot for an upgrade. And those particular upgrades we can we can upgrade the upgrades with nanites either before or after we install them. Let's look around the inside. Ooh. super weird in here. There's a few different designs for the inside of the living ships as well, so they won't all be the same. I am going to switch to first person though, because I prefer third person even. Alright, so let's see if we can find an upgrade. We might get one straight away if we're really lucky. Red star systems seem to spawn them a lot quicker, a lot more often. But in theory, most systems should spawn in eventually. So when you first get your living ship, it might, depending on how well upgraded your normal ship is, your living ship might feel a bit rubbish at first, but once you install all your S-Class upgrades in it, that changes dramatically. Also, it takes different things to refill them. Alright, things that you can get in space really easily. Oh, yep, this is worth checking. Make sure that you get rid of your spare stuff, your Kraken Void Egg or whatever. Get rid of these as well. Because if you don't try to palm your Kraken Void Egg or your whatever other egg off on somebody else, because it will wreck the progression for their Starbirth mission. So do not do that. Right, let's see how it fares in battle. Completely completely not upgraded. Well, it's not too bad. Let's switch to the other weapon. Well, I'm in a blue system at the moment. I might try warp into a red system in a second if we can't find ourselves a void egg. So there's a neat little trick where you can, in a red system, go to the space station, pulse out, and it will find a void egg as the very first thing. Pulse back, you'll probably get another one on the way back. Save in the save station, reload again, and just keep doing that over and over and over again until you've got all of them. One thing to note is that you can get in any system, you can get all 6 different upgrades, but they will always spawn at the same class. So if the first upgrade we get is for one of my weapons, then every upgrade we get for that will spawn at the same class. No, because I walked, I got another glyph. Right, Purge. I feel like pulsing towards something, it seems to happen, you seem to get your space encounters a bit more that way than just pulsing out into space. Could be wrong, it could be my imagination, but it certainly seems that way to me. Of course, now I'm saying that, nothing's happening while I'm pulsing towards something. This is a red system, isn't it? Cadmium? Yeah. It is indeed a red system. Come on, Void Egg, show up. The second I chose to give up there was one. Okay, so a spewing vent node. Alright, now that I can evolve that to an S-class now, or I can actually equip it and evolve it to an S. There we go. Straight away. Okay, so that has increased my damage potential for my spewing vents weapon. Now, any others that I find in this system then that are for the spewing vents will also spawn at A-class, okay? So now, if I go back towards the space station, in theory, I should just about find another one just before I get back to the space station. I might miss it. But either way, if I save and reload at the save and reload at the space station, that was hard to say, then pulse out again, then in the same amount of time it took me to get that one, it will take me to get the next one, okay? So the amount of time between space encounters is set depending on which system you are in. So this one was a particularly long wait between space encounters, but other systems might be quicker. I don't think that it'll be much slower than that. I don't think I've encountered much slower than that before. But yeah, that's it. That's how you're going to fill up all of your various upgrade slots. Okay, and like I say, you've got pugnium, oxygen or mordite, silver or gold, chromatic metal, and that's really easy to refill. So, all right, you get the point. I'm sure that we can come back to our living ship later, but that will do for this video, I think. Thank you for watching the second half of the Void Egg living ship video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.